Okay then guys, welcome back. My name is Bo the Hero and I'm joined by the runners of Breath of Fire 4 who are going to be going
はい、
into their
シャドウオブアダム
three-way
で
race.
した。
Four? Why did I say four? Breath of Fire. There's three of you. There's four of us on
次
the
は
couch.
ブレスオ
Cross
ブ
over
ザ
four,
ワ
so
イ
just
ル、
everyone.
ブレスオ
Anyway,
ブ
I'm joined
フ
by
ァイヤーですね。
Genya23, Ryu Quetzalcoatl, and Jin Tatsu 2 who are going to be racing just after the near incentive by its caster. So guys, obviously I think the first thing I wanted to say, I think kind of the most important thing is that obviously you're going to be, I think the first race here at Limit Break 2018, but also this is your first major appearance each of you at a marathon. So kind of obviously going into that is going to be a lot more pressure. How have you guys been preparing for this race in terms of, you know, your practice in the game and, you know, kind of coming into a race setting at a marathon like this?
I mean, usually like I wouldn't not prepare like any kind of different than like for a race just because it's a race. You know, for a marathon run you obviously have to take your like safeties and everywhere, but like I think we all know what we are capable of doing in this game. So I mean I wouldn't really say that I would prepare like anything like special for just because it's a race, but
I just wanted to prepare myself mentally. I wasn't really too worried about the games, but just the idea of making sure that my head is where it needs to be, so I'm not making silly mistakes and stuff like that is the most important thing for me.
Ryu, any thoughts?
I didn't practice too much because I wanted to be a fair competition. So.
Right.
It should be said obviously that Ryu Quetzalcoatl, you are the world record holder for this game. I think
I got lucky.
You got lucky. I mean, what is it? A clear few minutes at least. So obviously you have that, I guess, that at least initial kind of at least best time advantage. How did that affect you guys going in? I want to ask as well, and knowing that you're going up against the best runner here. You think you can take him?
oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're going down.
I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to kind of enjoy it, play it as if I was expecting to be third, and while these guys worry about trying to beat each other, I'll just sail by and take the first. Simple.
Okay, great, excellent, of course. One thing I was kind of like particularly interested in as well, because obviously this is it is our first race. It's quite a long game at about 5.5, 6 hours, I believe the estimate's at. You know, there's lots that you're going to be taking into account. Obviously, you know, trying to memorize every single moment of that route, all of you know the menus. Kind of what is the kind of the section that maybe you know you were I guess more worried about most in the run, and you could maybe been practicing a bit more, or just trying to really solidify in your minds.
Soft lock. There's a soft lock at the end of the run. Yeah. We don't really have much control over it. Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just bless RNG. Yeah. That's the most dreadful.
I guess if one of you gets it, we can just all go for like the triple Hail Mary and just get the 3 soft locks and just leave it at that.
I mean, I think there are a couple boss fights where you really don't want to make a like tiny mistake, because that can very easily snowball into like a defeat or a game over, or like not a game over, but you just get sent back. And I mean, there's a couple of very key spots where you just, you know, try to be as focused as possible to not, you know, overthink anything.
ブレスオブファイヤーはドネーションで名前が決まるみたいなんですけど、何になったのかな。
Just to add to Jenny's point, with the bosses, even if you execute flawlessly, you could just get really bad RNG.
1位が2部、2位が PJ。
Make a huge difference in the race.
And I think those are kind of the moments where
3位がジェニー J ですね。この3つの名前が使われることになります。と、多分。
Have run all of the Breath of Fire games in one long sitting. You know, you do run all of them, and you're obviously going to be showing off your skills here. What was it like running like all of the Breath of Fire games, knowing that they are quite long RPGs, but maybe just getting that focus on one? How does it kind of feel?
I mean, like comparing to like running all in a row, which is
他にもデバッグネームの紹介とか、あとチュンリー、イースターエッグっていうのもありますね。
Doing the entire thing in a row. If you start with Breath of Fire 1, it's I mean, compared to that, Breath of Fire 1 is, you know, it's a game where you have to make a lot of very, very quick decision making. You have to always be, you know, how do I react to like enemies doing certain.
チュンリー、イースターエッグとデバッグネームの紹介は達成されてますね。
How little mistakes you will make over the course of the run, and just how quickly you can think, you know, okay, how do I react to a given situation? And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you try to do that for like the whole like 35 hours, that's rough, but wouldn't recommend. But it was fun. So it's like.
I mean, talking about that as well, because you did do it as part of the wider Breath of Fire relay that happened obviously at the end of last year. I believe all three of you did race, and as part of obviously you doing all of it. But you guys did races. Do you remember who won? Off the top of my head, I can't really remember the overall standings of that first game. Do we have any kind of revenge to get, perhaps, Jin?
No, I got to get revenge on myself for making silly mistakes during that marathon. That's really all it comes down to. I get distracted easily, and then I start walking the other direction. So I gotta keep
We'll
focused.
keep an eye on you. We'll make sure the audience here just kind of if you're just straying off, we'll just shout at you and keep you on track.
In terms of the whole series in general, Breath of Fire 1 is definitely the easiest of the runs, the less really dangerous spots.
I guess
the hardest part about Breath of Fire 1 is just getting over yourself, really, for me.
The thing is interesting you say that, because Breath of Fire 1 and 2 have that if you lose in a battle, it's just you go back to the nearest save rather than a full game over, so you do have that kind of safety. I guess that kind of the last thing, Ryu, I know that obviously this is one of your favourite Breath of Fire games, if not your favourite. Kind of what exactly about this particular Breath of Fire was the one that really made you, realise that this is the game you wanted to run? And I know at the start, I remember having a conversation with you saying, is this one of those ones that you're going to gun for the world record? And you kind of went, well, we'll see how it's going. I'm running it casually. I'm really enjoying it. And then, 2 weeks later, you're sitting there going, 5-11, beat that, boys.
So I just really like this game because I grew up playing Breath of Fire. I played all of them, but I don't know, this one's really nice. But for me, personally, speedrunning JRPGs, it's hard for me to stay awake.
It's okay.
No, that's fair.
So the reason why I like this one so much is because Marble 3s prevent monster encounters. So you just run to the boss, and you just beat the game. Whereas, Breath of Fire 2, it's 9 hours long, and you have to go through battles.
Horrendous battles.
Wait, I guess I kind of know what you mean by removing more of that kind of RNG factor. It kind of brings it back to the idea of your execution and your ability to kind of master that side of the game. Well, gents, I guess with that in mind, I'm going to bring the interview to a close. I'm going to wish the three of you the best. So what I'll do is I'll throw it back to Bob and to Itzkasa with his incentive for Nier Automata. Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much, Bowie. Give them a round of applause, guys. I do have to get this one in very, very quickly. Ryu, is it a special day for you today? Because someone has donated $5 and says, "Happy birthday, Ryu! Happy birthday, Ryu! Happy birthday, Ryu! Happy birthday, Ryu!"
Happy birthday, Ryu.
Okay, and with that, we've been waiting for this one, so let's send it over to Itzkaze with the donation incentive for Nier Automata.
Hey, everybody. So earlier we had a little issue with the save file, but I made sure that you guys got this today. I will start. Oh, that means they're already starting. So we're just going to go fast. We're going to go fast. We're going. For this part, for people who aren't aware, we play as a robot named A2. We're not actually 2B.
It's 2B, but better in a way.
We got a better dash.
This takes place and stuff after ending the stuff that we did earlier. For those who don't know, as he said, we had essentially a data corruption a few days ago. We had to recreate all this data and have it done by the end of the day so we could get this incentive in. And this is collecting all of the weapons, upgrading all of the weapons, completing a really long quest line, and he did most of that in regards to the last 3 days. But most of the end game completion and stuff was today. And so this is the super boss Emil. This is the second fight of Emil. And
we're also a bit under level just for marathon fun.
It's not that easy, you dumbass.
This fight has a lot of lore significance for those who are familiar with the Nier series. So I'm not going to talk much unless it's quiet.
It'll look very hectic as well.
So essentially the way this fight is there's a character named Emil. This character named Emil, and in Nier he was born as a bioweapon, born and raised as a bioweapon. The ultimate bioweapon per se. and he was made to defend Earth, essentially, and one day his purpose came to fruition.
Years of fighting and wars. Their sense of self just deteriorated.
Emil
I need to settle things with them on my own. Shut up already, kid.
Emil could multiply himself as a result of his powers, but as he just said there, after years of multiplying...
Oh, I got really unlucky there.
After years of multiplying, essentially, all of the multipliers' sense of self, they all just lost themselves. And so what we're fighting here is the product of years of multiplication in regards to defending Earth, but these Emil heads have specifically gone mad. And so we are fighting them as they are now a menace.
So what happened there is I was on my small recoveries there. It moved because I cannot take time out to just change where my cursor is. Otherwise, I'm going to get hit more by Emil's little lasers there. So I was trying to make do with the best I could with that menu.
Again, we are under-leveled, so this boss is hitting very hard. But that was to add more difficulty to it. And you'll see we're using different weapons from in the ending run. Again, that's because we have all weapons upgraded, and this is tailored to whatever Casa likes as his playstyle. So we're just going to try this again, and we're going to give it another go.
This is the one.
And having explained it, I'm not going to talk this time because the atmosphere is just beautiful.
Instead, you can talk about what goes into actually getting to this ending.
Oh god. So yeah, as I said, all weapons, which can be hard to find or are results of quests. Hours of farming money, hours of farming experience, using that money to get rare weapons, or rare materials to upgrade said weapons, and then more money to upgrade the weapons. And then quests on their own to simply get to this point with the character.
Magical weapons from the old world detected. Magical elements have a high probability of penetrating all defense systems.
ニアで達成してたエミール戦をここでやってたんですね。ありがとうございます。
Is known as being a bit more curt. Very, what's the word? I guess curt is really just the best way to say it. Doesn't really have a filter.
Interesting placement.
Elemental output of magical weapons has increased.
This is batshit. Those are... What happened to my clones? Years of multiplying.
You're on full south, by the way.
Fighting and wars. Their sense of self just deteriorated.
Oh god, I'm in a really bad spot.
Settle things with them on my own. Shut up already, kid.
He wants to sing you all a song, everybody. We should all sing along. Not that song. Not that song.
There's one behind you, yeah.
I'm good, I'm good. Okay.
So they're going past an invisible wall, I think.
They are. So I'm making sure to shoot here because I have a a burst that stops most of his bullets, which is why I want. Did I get them all? I think
you got
I did.
them all.
Yep.
So now, more exposition. And then we have to kill them right before they detonate, which if they detonate, that would cause Y ending, which is another secret ending.
So I'm just following one of these until they let me attack.
However, another issue is if you kill this boss, you can't kill it again. So if you kill it before you get Y ending, you can't get all endings on your file.
But even so, all of this is wrong. No matter how hard or how painful,
Just
they
watch
never
out for them.
gave up. They kept fighting because they believed they could overcome someday. Isn't that right, Kaine? Even if it's pointless, you still have to do it. Because this is the world my friend tried to
There's that one right there.
There we go. And that's it. That is an extremely difficult fight, and it can get you real easy.
Right at the end. Emil, I was running.
Thank you, everybody who donated for this incentive. I hope that everyone at home got a chance to watch this and enjoyed their time with it. I put a lot of work into getting this here today, so I'm really happy that we got to show it off.
But now I get to see them again.
All right, that's everything, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you. One might say that was nail biting. Oh, we were all sitting over here going,